Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome back, and you're ready for another retro review. Then smash the subscribe button. Let's talk about Survivor Series 1995 very quickly. Kevin Nash, best match of all time. Has to be up there, right? It's got to be with Bret Hart. The trilogy, there was never a finish in the first two matches. The King of the Ring match. Then there was the Royal Rumble match. And then it led to this match in Survivor Series 1995. The trilogy was ended with Bret Hart winning the no DQ match. And you didn't see a lot of no DQ matches in the WWF in 1995. So it was nice. It was refreshing to see something different. You see them all the time now. Back then we didn't get a sniff. We didn't get a look in. So it was really something different. Someone going through a table never happened back then. Never happened. It happens every bloody day. On WWE now. They're doing it every week. Back then, we'd never seen it before. Not really. Not like that. The way Bret Hart went through that table. That was something new. That was something different. That was something exciting. And he really sold it. This was a really good match. Really good ending to a show. Really enjoyed it. Problem was, undercard. Yeah, there were some really talented individuals. Really were. When you look up and down the card. Problem was, their gimmicks, the creative, was in the mud, in the bin. Same story for the whole of 95, to be honest with you. Creative was a massive problem. Because in a year and a half's time, fast forward to Survivor Series 96, and look what's happening, look what's starting to come. We're getting the Attitude Era. By 98, 97, 98, 3 years' time, they're in full swing in that Attitude Era. This Survivor Series, not one of the better ones considering what's to come. With 96 was really good in my opinion. 97, we all know what happens then. In 98, there are some good Survivor Series yet to come. And this one, not one of the better ones because of the undercard, because of the creative. The main event, right up there with some of the best Survivor Series main events of all time in my opinion. Really good. Really good. Let's run through the undercard quickly. You had the Body Donners versus the Underdogs. Great name. Great name. The Body Donners consisted of Skip, Rad Radford. He was a Body Donner in training. Dr. Tom Pritchard, still a heavenly body at this time, wasn't going to be a Body Donner just yet. And a newly turned heel joined Ted DiBiase and the $1 Million Corporation. The 1-2-3 Kid just turned heel on Razor Ramon, just turned on him recently on Raw. And yeah, joined Sid. And what was really the end of the corporation, really, they weren't very strong by this point. And yeah, it didn't last very long. The 1-2-3 Kid with Ted DiBiase could have been a lot better. His heel turn, in my opinion, it didn't last long because he didn't last much longer in the company. Underdogs consisted of Marty Jannetty, Hakushi, Barry Horowitz, and Bob Sparkplug Holly. Some great creative there. The match was alright because you got some decent workers in there. Skip was always good. Rad Radford was a decent worker. Go look at their matches in ECW. Chris Candido was excellent. Rad Radford, his name escapes me and someone will probably remind me. But yeah, Rad Radford. Louis Spicolli. There you go. Louis Spicolli. Awesome. Had some great matches. This was decent. This was a decent match. It was 18 minutes. Good work in the ring. Marty Jannetty could go. Hakushi could go. Barry Horowitz was decent. Bob Holly was good. This was a decent match. It wasn't bad. It was just the gimmicks they had. The way they were being pushed. Yeah, they were all underdogs. They were all jobbers. It was a jobber match. Then you had a 4-on-4 women's Survivor Series match. We weren't getting a lot of women's matches back then. And it was surprising we got one on this show. It came out of nowhere. Bertha Faye, Aja Kong, Tomoko Watanabe, and Lioness Asuka. With Harvey Wimpleman as their manager. They defeated Alundra Blayze, Kyoko Inoue, Sakie Hasegawa, and I ain't even going to try and pronounce the last one. Yeah. I don't even know much about these women. really. We didn't really care back then. They didn't promote the women back then. They didn't push the women back then at all. At all. The women's division was pretty much done after this by 95. Yeah. We didn't see it a sniff again of the women's division for a couple of years. Maybe 98 it came back with Jackie and Sable. Goldust had a match. He just debuted recently and defeated Bam Bam Bigelow convincingly. And that was a big win for Goldust. And he was a great character. One of the better characters, one of the better things Creative had done. And it was probably more to the fact that Goldust was phenomenal. Dustin Rhodes is phenomenal. And still going today. Still a champion today. That's absolutely phenomenal. We're talking about him, about a show he did 30 years ago when he was debuting in the WWF. And he's still going strong now. Phenomenal. The next Survivor Series match was the Darkside against the Royals. The Darkside consisted of The Undertaker, Savio Vega, Fatu, Henry Godwinn. They went up against King Mabel, Jerry Lawler, Isaac Yankum, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Again, Creative here. In a couple of years, some of these go on to bigger and better things. Isaac Yankum, Kane. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, we all know he becomes The Game. They all feature quite heavily. A majority of these feature quite heavily in the Attitude Era. Fatu becomes Rikishi. The Undertaker, still going strong, wasn't he? But yeah, this match, Undertaker completely dominated, destroyed everyone. Absolutely destroyed everyone, and the Darkside team came out winners in the end. Then they were trying something new, something different, and it didn't work. It was a 4-on-4 Survivor Series match again, but they mixed it up. It was wild card, they called it, where heels were teaming with baby faces against heels and baby faces. You had Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson in his debut match, teaming with the British Bulldog, who was a heel, with Jim Cornette as his manager, and Sycho Sid with Ted DiBiase as his manager, up against Yokozuna, Owen Hart, Razor Ramon, and Dean Douglas. Again, the in-ring action was really good, because in there you had Shawn Michaels, in there you had Owen Hart, in there you had the British Bulldog, in there you had Razor Ramon, Dean Douglas. But the Creative. You even had Jim Cornette ringside, doing his thing, being absolutely hilarious. Was brilliant, even before the matches, doing the pre-tapes, the interviews, trying to convince Ted DiBiase that he weren't going to go to the other side, and because he had guys on each side. He had Yokozuna and Owen Hart on one team and British Bulldog on the other team. So he was torn in the middle. He was so good. This was really good. Jim Cornette sold this for me, and the in-ring action was really good. Ahmed Johnson, the less said the better. The less said the better. He needed people to work with him. Even Yokozuna at this time was still going strong, still okay, could still do a few moves. And him versus Shawn Michaels, you hadn't really seen that much at that time. And Shawn Michaels sold for him. It was brilliant. Shawn Michaels was excellent in this match. And you even got to see Undertaker and Isaac Yankum. That was a match before, sorry. Yeah, that was interesting. Anyway, sorry. That was another note that I've just read. Dean Douglas was decent in this match. He really was. His problem was Creative. They just didn't give a fuck about him. Shawn Michaels got the win in the end. Super kicking Yokozuna. Ahmed Johnson got the splash. 1, 2, 3. Gets the win. Razor Ramon got eliminated thanks to interference by the 1, 2, 3 kid. Sycho Sid. It did all break down a bit. British Bulldog getting involved and beating up his own teammates, and Shawn Michaels super kicking his own teammate. And yeah, it was entertaining, the match itself, but it was a bit of a mess as well. And they never did it again for completely the right reasons, and you can see why. The main event, excellent. Kevin Nash's best match of all time. He always had good matches with Bret Hart. He really did. He was underrated for a big man. He had some really good matches, especially with Bret Hart. this one was by far the best. This one, in my opinion, is up there as one of the best Survivor Series main events of all time. It was back in 95 where you didn't get a lot of no DQ matches. What they did in the match you didn't see a lot of. You didn't see many people going through tables. Name me another show in 95 in the WWF, 94 in the WWF where someone went through a table. You ain't finding it. You ain't seeing it. It didn't happen. So if you were just a fan of the WWF, it was a surprising thing. It caught your attention. It was a big deal. It was a big moment. Now, it's not. Now people just don't care anymore. They chant "We want tables" because they want to see it again and again and again and again. You weren't getting it back then, and it was so exciting, so much better when you didn't get enough, when you didn't get it as much. Now people are just numb to it. So yeah, a great main event, it really was. And then Diesel was beating the crap out of Bret Hart. Bret Hart did fight back, managed to go to the leg, and there was a lot of leg work going on in this match. I'll let you have that. It did slow down a bit. It was a bit methodical at times, but that was bound to happen. It was giant against a smaller guy, with Bret Hart fighting from underneath for the majority of the match. He did go to the leg, did work the leg a lot, and it was a slow match at times, but it was the right story to tell. It was a great story that they told. And the finish was great. You thought Bret Hart was down and out. He was done for after that table spot. Done for. He sold it perfectly. Where nowadays, someone goes through a table, they're popping back up 30 seconds later. And they're fine. They're fine again. And they're fighting like nothing's happened. Bret Hart sold this brilliantly. Sold it perfectly. Diesel gets him back in the ring. Of course he's going to look for the finish. He's going to pick him up and hit him with that jackknife powerbomb. Get the 1, 2, 3 and get out of there with the title. But Bret Hart can't even get to his feet. He is out. He tries to pick him up, get him in position. He falls back down. Tries to go for it again. And then Bret Hart, out of nowhere, playing possum, rolls him up. The quick 1, 2, 3 in the roll up. Gets the win. Phenomenal finish. Phenomenal finish to the match. Diesel is pissed. Diesel is furious. He gets up and goes for Bret Hart. Jackknife powerbomb straight away. Once, twice. Referees come running in the ring. He knocks the fuck out of all of them. You're not seeing this in 95. You're really not. Not in the WWF. Not at this time. Not what Diesel was doing. This was exciting stuff. You would have wished they would have gone straight away for this more of this more often. And eventually they do. Eventually you see a lot more of this. But it was a bit of a teaser. It was good to see. It was refreshing. It was different. It was exciting. It was chaos. That's what you wanted in wrestling. A bit of chaos is pretty good at times. Excitement. You're not knowing what's going to happen. Diesel turning. Diesel furious. No one be able to control the monster. It was good. It was exciting. Let me know what you think down below. I did enjoy the finish to this show. It was just the undercard. The matches were decent. The creative was shocking. Let me know what you think down below about Survivor Series 95. And please smash that subscribe button. And I will see you next time.